Now, I am honored to be standing next to the president herself of the National Fireworks Association, Ms. Stacy Blake. Stacy, thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
So we were talking over at Hales. Hales have been around for 70 years, but somebody in this room has them beat, and it is this company. What year were you guys founded?
1895.
1895. That's how many years?
130.
Wow, 130 years old. So that would make you guys arguably the oldest in the industry?
We're one of the oldest.
One of the oldest.
I know Rozzi, I'm pretty sure, is the same year.
So a company called Rozzi was formed the same year?
I think so. I think they're celebrating their 130th, I think.
Okay, so were you guys in the beginning, were you consumer, or was it only professional at that time?
So at the time, my great-great-grandfather had other businesses, and so my great-grandfather was getting the samples of fireworks on the sporting goods containers they were bringing in, so he was selling the fireworks out of the back of his truck. And so that's the business that ended up taking off, and the other ones just kind of fizzled. And it was fireworks ever since.
And where are you guys based out of?
St. Joseph, Missouri.
St. Joseph, Missouri. You'll see that a lot of the fireworks companies are based in Kansas and Missouri. Why do you think that is?
You know, I think our regulations in our state is very fireworks friendly. And so I think it's also, I mean, within shipping, you know, the rail yards come straight into Kansas City. And so I think it's just an easy path from the beginning. I think it's about 70% of the imported fireworks come into the Midwest, yeah.
70% of all fireworks brought into the United States come into the Midwest, namely 2 states, Kansas and Missouri. Okay, so I have another question for you guys. I want you to put on your NFA hat for a second. So,
got it.
Madam President, talk to me about the tariffs and what challenge are they going to have for our fireworks industry?
Well, do you have about 2 hours?
No, you have 30 seconds.
You know, the tariffs, we have been in this tariff fight for now since February. And it's really an education piece. That's what we're really going out and educating. We were able to meet with USTR in Washington, D.C. I've been out to D.C. now 3 times since I've been president. And multiple letters, you know, the NFA teamed up with the APA, and we are in this collaboration together. We are on the same page, we're moving forward, and they are listening, and they're continuing to ask us for additional information. There are legislators that are they're learning about our industry and realize that there is a problem. And so we have created a lot of champions up on the Hill now, and so they are aware of our situation at the highest level, and we've been able to get and communicate that to them. They're continuing to speak with us and ask us for more additional information, and so we're just going to keep on those collaborations with our champions.
So what are the tariff rates currently at right now?
Currently they're at the 30% plus our 5.7 on consumer.
So we have almost 36% now, whereas 2 years ago it was only about 6%.
Right.
Okay, so if an item retails for $40, what's the price of that $40 item going to be in 2026, do you think, just from the tariffs?
Well, it is going to depend. When we were in USTR at the end of the 90-day pause, there is a chance it could go up. I just had a meeting this morning with our lobbyist, our DC team, and so there are some things on the board on the horizon with it, but it does sound like President Trump and President Xi are going to try to meet. So that's encouraging to us.
So what likelihood is it that the tariffs will go higher versus that they'll come back down? Like if you had to say 60-40 or 70-30, what would you say that they're going to go higher versus lower?
You know, with this administration, we're not clear on that. But I do know both associations together have put in an offer that we think is fair for our industry.
And what is that offer?
10%.
10%. I would agree with that. The 10% is more than fair.
Yeah, and that's on all fireworks goods, chemicals, products to produce and manufacture fireworks here as well. And that's not just, it's with every country. That's the offer that we put in.
So there's always new challenges in the fireworks industry. As we know, 2026 is coming up. That's a big year. It's going to be 250th anniversary. So do you think that these tariffs can cause any sort of supply chain shortage next year?
So, that has been a big thing that we've communicated with our champions on the Hill. During this issue, production stopped in China because they didn't have the warehousing space. There was a halt in shipments. So we've calculated at least 5 weeks that we're down on manufacturing just for the U.S. market going into 2026.
And I think for us, and I'm sure you too, that when you're paying $15,000 per container for customs and duties, when you're used to paying $2,500, there's going to be fewer containers brought into the United States just because we can't budget for it. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, and I think that's, a decision within each company, right? But there is only a certain amount of money that you can budget, that you can get loans for. There's a whole formula to this, but if you don't have the funds, you can't get it here.
Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.